Solving quadratic equations by completing the squares. Steps in solving the roots of quadratic equations. Here are the steps. Number 1. Isolate the constant term to the right side. 2. Take the half of the x term coefficient and square it. 3. Make the left side of the equation a perfect square trinomial by adding the result to both sides. 4. Express the left side as a squared binomial and combine terms on the right side. 5. Take the square root of both sides. 6. Extract the square root of both sides. 7. Solve for x. Problem number 1. X squared minus 14x minus 32 is equals to 0. Transposing negative 32 to other side becomes positive 32. The x term coefficient here is negative 14. So we divide it by 2 and square it. So negative 14 divided by 2 is equals to negative 7. And negative 7 squared is equals to 49. Add the result to both sides of the equation to make a perfect square trinomial, and then express this as a square of binomial by taking the root of x, the sign of the middle term minus, and the root of 49, which is 7, and combine the right side of the equation. So we have the quantity of x minus 7 squared is equals to 81. Take the square root of both sides of the equation, and by extracting the roots we have x minus 7 is equals to plus and minus 9. Transposing negative 7 to the other side becomes positive 7. So the answer is x is equals to 7 plus and minus 9. So the two real solutions are 7 plus 9 is equals to 16. And 7 minus 9 is equals to negative 2. Number 2. X squared minus 6x plus 5 is equals to 0. Transposing positive 5 to the other side becomes negative 5. So the x term coefficient here is negative 6. Divide it by 2 and square it. So we have negative 6 divided by 2 is equals to negative 3. The negative 3 squared is equals to 9. Add the result to both sides of the equation to make a perfect square trinomial, and then express this as a square of binomial by taking the root of x, the sign of the middle term minus, and the root of 9, which is 3, and combine the right side of the equation. Negative 5 plus 9 is equals to 4. Take the square root of both sides of the equation, and by extracting the roots we have x minus 3 is equals to plus and minus 2. Transposing negative 3 to other side becomes positive 3. So the answer is x is equals to 3 plus and minus 2. So the two real solutions are 3 plus 2 is equals to 5 and 3 minus 2 is equals to 1. Problem number 3. 3x squared minus 12x minus 6 is equals to 0. First, divide the whole equation by 3. So we have 3 divided by 3 is equals to 1. Negative 12 divided by 3 is equals to negative 4. Negative 6 divided by 3 is equals to negative 2. And 0 divided by 3 is equals to 0. Transpose negative 2 to other side becomes positive 2. The x term coefficient here is negative 4. We divide it by 2 and square it. So negative 4 divided by 2 is equals to negative 2. Negative 2 squared is equals to 4. Add the result to both sides of the equation to make a perfect square trinomial, and then express this as a square of binomial by taking the root of x, the sign of the middle term minus, and the root of 4, which is 2, and combine the right side of the equation 2 plus 4 is equals to 6. Take the square root of both sides of the equation, and by extracting the roots, we have x minus 2 is equals to plus and minus 2.45. Transposing negative 2 to the other side becomes positive 2. So the answer is 2 plus and minus 2.45. So the two real solutions are 2 plus 2.45 is equals to 4.45. 2 minus 2.45 is equals to negative 0.45. Problem number 4. 2x squared plus 12x minus 10 is equals to 0. First, divide the whole equation by 2. So we have 2 divided by 2 is equals to 1. 12 divided by 2 is equals to 6. Negative 10 divided by 2 is equals to negative 5. 0 divided by 2 is equals to 0. Transpose negative 5 to the other side becomes positive 5. The x term coefficient here is 6. So we divide it by 2 and square it. 6 divided by 2 is equals to 3. And 3 squared is equals to 9. Add the result to both sides of the equation to make a perfect square trinomial, and express this as a square of binomial by taking the root of x, the sign of the middle term plus, and the root of 9, which is 3. And combine the right side of the equation. 5 plus 9 is equals to 14. And take the square root of both sides of the equation. And by extracting the roots, we have x plus 3 is equals to plus and minus 3.74. Transpose positive 3 to the other side becomes negative 3. So the answer is negative 3 plus and minus 3.74. So the two real solutions are negative 3 plus 3.74 is equals to 0.74. And negative 3 minus 3.74 is equals to negative 6.74. Problem number 5. 5x squared minus 15x minus 25 is equals to 0. First, divide the whole equation by 5. So we have 5 divided by 5 is equals to 1. Negative 15 divided by 5 is equals to negative 3. Negative 25 divided by 5 is equals to negative 5. 0 divided by 5 is equals to 0. Transpose negative 5 to the other side becomes positive 5. So the x term coefficient here is negative 3. We divide it by 2 and square it. So negative 3 divided by 2. Make it as is, just square it. So negative 3 halves squared is equals to 9 over 4. Add the result to both sides of the equation to make a perfect square trinomial, and express this as a square root of binomial by taking the root of x, the sign of the middle term minus, and the root of 9 over 4, which is 3 over 2. And combine the right side of the equation. 5 plus 9 over 4 is equals to 7.25. Take the square root of both sides of the equation. And by extracting the roots, we have x minus 3 halves is equals to plus and minus 2.7. Transposing negative 3 halves, or 1.5, the other side becomes 1.5 plus and minus 2.7. And the two real solutions are 1.5 plus 2.7 is equals to 4.2. 1.5 minus 2.7 is equals to negative 1.2.